Welcome to the call. Honored to be a part of you guys' life, and we got an awesome class for you, and we have some an expert out of Philly on the call with us, which I'm really excited about to hear her success story, that she's landing one expired per week, and can't wait to talk to her. She just shared some scripts with me that she uses, how simple they were, and it's just amazing I'm honored to have you here, Kate. And then Mike is back with us, who shared his Fizbo strategy a couple, 2-3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. This time flies when you're having fun. So, Mike, thanks so much for coming back. I appreciate your expertise. Kate, thanks for being here, you guys. And I'm going to let you guys take it away, and I'm going to take notes.
Great. Kate, say hello so we can be sure we hear you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to talking with all of you.
And I'm having to apologize. You know, we pay for great Comcast service in my office, and it went down. So I'm actually connected through my iPhone through the personal hotspot, which fortunately I have. So I'm not going to skip around as much through the slides and go to the websites and that sort of thing today because the connection is limited. So I do apologize. And, you know, this whole course started because Kate and I, how long have we known each other, Kate?
A long time, Mike, a long time.
Yeah, I think Kate was 12 when I first met her, and now she's 30. And Kate and I have had a long-going argument over whether it's better to work Fizbos or expireds, because we find agents, why they should work both, most of them don't. They tend to excel in one of them. And client after client kept asking me to come up with an expired program, and my monkey mind was telling me, I don't know, you know, I haven't done that many. I don't know if I consider myself an expert. And I had the good fortune of being on a call with Kate one day, and I said, you know, gosh, I'm having this monkey mind over this situation, and this is what I want to share. And, of course, I want to share why we should work expired listings. You know, why should we even do that? And I want to give them, you know, a simple letter that will get results, that will get the expired to call in. And I'd like to get no conflict scripts, because I'm the sort of guy that if I get into conflict, it can ruin my whole day. I mean, I'll be in attack beast mode all day long if I get into an argument first thing in the morning. So my scripts have to be no conflict. And then I wanted, you know, the expired saying, you know, hey, come talk to us. We want to hear more. I needed to know how to convert expireds. And, you know, I wanted some third-party celebrity proofs that we can use. And I wanted some statistics because I'm a numbers freak. And, you know, I know that knowledge equals power. And Kate says, you know, Mike, I've been selling like 30, 40 expireds a year. And I'm like, would you like to do a course with me? And Kate said graciously, yes. And so I'm gonna brag on Kate a little. Kate, can I brag on you?
Of course, Mike. That's what I pay you for.
Yeah, she's 11 to 12 years an agent. She's listed in over 375 expired listings, guys. And I want you to know, Kate did something I'm so jealous of. She got married about 2.5 years ago, had a baby. How old is Vale now? 13 months? 14 months?
Yeah.
Yep. And went on what I call a walkabout or a vision quest. She calls it a sabbatical. She moved a couple of times and experienced the great Southeast, and then moved back to Philly. But she took 2 years off, guys, from selling real estate.
Awesome.
And then she started again. When did you start? In February of this year again?
Yeah. Signed up with a new team in January and started to really kind of working in February. Mm-hmm.
Great. And her goal this year, which she's on track for, everybody, is 45 expireds.
Yep.
That's exciting.
Amazing.
And what's your average price, Kate?
Actually, my average price is really high. It's right now it's probably about $375, and the average for the market is $215 right now.
And to describe Philly's market for us right now, I'm sure to do those numbers, you must be getting 150 expireds a day.
No, and I'm glad you brought that up, Mike, because as I was saying to Scott and you before we really officially came on the call, I too have been suffering from very low inventory, so therefore very, very few expireds. So realistically, for the whole Philadelphia County, which is large, I've only been getting 5 or 10 expireds a day.
Wait, so you're talking you have maybe 100 and 50 expireds a month, and
Yeah,
you're
that's
taking
it.
4 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, congratulations. So you guys can see why, compared to my set, I've sold a lot of homes, but maybe 10 expireds over 35 years. So this is why we've based this course off of Kate's systems, because she gets astounding results. So I want you, for the next 35 minutes or so, to listen to what Kate has to say. We've had some comments. We've run the course a couple of times. The last 4 weeks have made a big difference for my business. Thanks. Yenny said that. Kate's insights are worth their weight in gold. And thank you, Mike, so much for your and Kate's hard work. This is getting me in the door. And that was from Valerie Thomas. And, you know, I go back to, why don't people work this gold mine? And I'm going to take this portion, Kate, because you can't even understand why somebody wouldn't do this, could you?
No, I couldn't.
No.
So go ahead.
And so what we know is that we're generally newer agents, and we're looking for business, or we're looking to kickstart our business, and we say, well, we're going to work expireds. And we don't know what to say, how to say, or when to say it. And so we said, well, we're going to get some training. We got the training, and the most famous script that's been propagated by a large training company and a huge real estate company is our, when are you interviewing the right agent for the job of selling your home, which is a very confrontational question. It does work, but you have to be prepared to soften it immediately thereafter, and we'll teach you how to do that also. And we have to hunt for them every day. We don't have a simple to use system, or we have to pay for them in the system, and we get these constant emails every day, and we're supposed to dump them after 7 days, and gosh, there's hundreds of other agents working them, and you know, some of them get relisted, and they might yell at us, and they're on the do not call list, and other agents are telling us there's easier ways to do business. You could just make a website, and all the business you want will come to you. We all know that that doesn't work. We didn't believe that we could do it because we never gave ourselves the time to learn it. If you guys write nothing else down this hour, write down this. Everything now easy was once hard. Everything that's now easy was once hard. And so we want you to give yourself some time to implement this system, which is why we teach it over a series of weeks rather than in 4 to 6 hours in one day. And we stopped working expireds altogether. And we know that most real estate agents think this about expireds. They didn't sell for a reason. Everyone's calling them. That reason they didn't sell is that they were overpriced. And we get sort of that aggravated realtor when we start thinking about expireds. Now, think if you were an expired. You've been on the market for 3, 6, 9 months, a year. Your previous real estate agent promised you the moon and the stars, and they didn't deliver. And you had agents not show up and leave the lights on and let the cat out. And so you're calling them right at the time when they're feeling depressed. They don't know if their home will ever sell. They've had real estate agents lie to them. They feel rejected. We had real estate agents be rude. We had their own agent didn't stay in touch. And now, all of a sudden, it expires, and the next day they get 8, 10, 12 calls and 4 or 5 letters. And they might be asking themselves, where were all these agents before? And they don't feel that we earn our commission. They don't feel it at all. So it's no wonder why we don't call them. But what Kate is about to show you and I are about to show you is a way to handle all of this. This is what we recommend you do with an expired. Kate, would you describe Philly as the most competitive it's been for the last 8, 10 years right now?
I think that's definitively very true.
And it's that way in Atlanta, and it's that way in Orlando, and it's that way in most parts of the country. And what we recommend, Kate, why do you recommend that they call these expireds as quickly as you can?
Because the most motivated people will want to hear what you have to say, and they will basically list with the first agent they like.
And I'm going to show you some statistics here in a second. For those of you that think they all relist with the same agent, it's not statistically true. So what we recommend is most training programs tell you you can send a postcard, and you know, if it's a nice postcard, it's a non-conflict way, you'll have some people will get in touch with you. And then the other training programs say call them as quickly as possible and get in the door, and it's like you're a spy and the world's going to blow up unless you talk to them and get in the door today. We sort of merge those two because what we've discovered is that, Kate, you will find a lot of them that day when you call them and set appointments that day, right?
Absolutely.
And with your follow-up, you'll set some that expired a month or 2 months ago or even a year ago because of your follow-up and your persistence, right?
Yeah, I actually had an expired call me that I sent a letter to 3 years ago before I took my sabbatical.
Wow. And what you want to do is show them that you're a superior agent. Now, this may sound like a lot, but when you have a system and you follow a schedule, it becomes easy to manage. And it can be done, and I don't even think, Kate, 90 minutes a day is if you have 30 or 40 a day. How much time is it taking you to do this every day right now?
10 minutes.
Wait,
what?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
And you're taking a listing a week.
Yeah.
Now,
I think it's worth it, right? I think that's pretty good return on investment.
10 minutes a day? 10 minutes a day?
Yeah.
Wow.
10 minutes a day
to do the initial contact. Now, prepping for the listing and going on the listing, that's additional time. But you're saying with the 5 to 10 a day that you're getting expireds, you're spending about 10 minutes a day sending out the initial email and making the initial calls.
Yeah.
Pretty good return on investment, guys. So why work with them?
I like it.
Okay, Kate, why don't you, I'll do the slides. You tell me when to go next. Start with number 1.
Oh, okay. So why should we all work the expireds? Number one reason is expireds are a great, and if not the best, in my opinion, source of business for an agent. They're easy to find. They already have advertised that they want to sell, and they are willing to use an agent. They are hot leads, and we also know what price didn't work. They may be more realistic now, depending. And some houses are a mystery. They sell the second time at the same price, and sometimes it's nobody knows why. It's just the right buyer in the right house find the match. And many expireds blame their agent or the market, not their price, which is interesting. And a lot of expireds feel rejected personally. Their house really reflects who they are as a person, so they feel rejected. And 99% of expireds know the value a realtor brings to the deal. And most agents, and I work in a large market, most agents do not work them.
So, Kate, let me say Philly must have several thousand agents that work in Philly.
I think it's upwards to close to 10 or 12,000 at this point.
And you work basically the main line, right?
I work Philadelphia County and the main line, Montgomery County.
So let's be conservative and say there's 5,000 agents that would take listings in that area. How many of them do you think consistently call expireds?
Oh, there's 3 or 4 of us.
Yeah. So for those of you,
no competition is what you're saying.
Yeah, low competition. I want you to listen to the voice of experience through Kate. 4, maybe 5, single digits for sure, agents will consistently work expireds week in and week out.
Right.
Okay, now, if you have a bold course or Tom Ferry or Mike Ferry or Brian Buffini or somebody run through town and do a live course, you might have a blurb where for a week you'll have 40 agents calling, but week in and week out, Kate, you're saying there's 3 or 4 agents you consider competition.
Yeah, and I know exactly what they say, and they don't even necessarily work them consistently either.
Yeah.
You'll know which ones they are.
Yeah.
And here's what I love is because there's so few of them, fewer agents are working them. And what this course will teach you to do is get really good working them, so you're actually going to have more success and be prepared when the market shifts again, when there are more expireds. Great, great stuff. So, I love when Kate told me this. She said, decide to succeed. There's really no excuse to fail with expireds. There really isn't, because look at all these things. You don't have to convince them that an agent adds value. You don't have to convince them that they should list with an agent. You don't have to convince them that they should sell. They've already advertised that fact. And in a lot of cases, it's simple things that get the home sold. It's not dramatic rocket science. They're things that you as good agents already do, professional photographs, all that sort of stuff. So the average price, so this is where Kate wins the argument as to whether it's better to work expireds or for sale by owners. Okay? In most parts of the country, it's rare to see a for sale by owner at 2 times the board average price. So here in Atlanta, our average price is around $200,000, and I see maybe 1 or 2 Fizbos a week that are above $400,000 or $500,000. And I get excited, and then I discover that they're already on the MLS, and it was just somebody being over eager, and their agent didn't coach them properly. Okay, but with expireds, they're all average or above average. And so the average price for expireds is going to be higher than the average price for sale by owners. So if you had to pick one, I think Kate's right. You should probably work expireds because you make more money per hour. Okay. Here's a survey I did. I surveyed 77 people about a year and 3 or 4 months ago. And these were all agents that do multiple expireds every month. And what I discovered is that 24% of the things that expire, either they don't sell. They either rent them out or they decide to stay in them. Only a quarter of them. And that range went from 20 to 30%, depending on the market area. If they relisted with the same agent, the range was pretty wide, 10 to 50%, depending on the market area. But the average was about 36% of them listed with the same agent, about 1 out of 3. And 4 out of 10 relisted with a new agent. These are the statistics, and they've been duplicated in several other studies. But I want you to notice that 4 out of 10 are going to list with a new agent. And that's why you want to talk to them right away. And in fact, Kate's phone formula and what she uses are here. Kate, you want to take those away and let us know what you're doing.
Hey, Kate, can I ask you, there's a couple of good questions. You mind if I just get these out there? Because I think a lot of people have the same thing. So the first one, Danielle, thanks for being here. She says, general question, do you think it's a difference for success rate to be with a bigger name brokerage versus a smaller? More or less unheard of? Or what would your opinion be on that? And
I think that's an excellent question, and I'm glad Danielle brings it up. I don't think it makes a difference. Okay. What you can do is when you're sitting down with an expired, if you understand what an expired is looking to hear and looking to understand about what happened and also what they're looking for in an agent, it doesn't matter which brokerage firm you're with at all. Very rarely do I have anybody ask me which brokerage firm I'm in at all.
Interesting. Cool.
Now, I would answer it just a little bit differently. Is you will have to learn, if you're with a big brokerage, the number 1 in town, you're going to have to learn how to handle the objection. Well, we already tried with your company.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but that's an objection we teach you how to handle, but you do have to learn how to handle that objection. And here in Atlanta, Keller Williams has 8,000 of the 18,000 agents. And they're pretty active. So when I was with Keller Williams, all the time I got, well, we tried with your company. And I had to learn how to handle that. So, Kate, how do you find their phone numbers?
Well, I used the Red X for the majority of my career and found it worked excellent. And Land Voice, other clients of mine and other real estate agents use Land Voice, and that works really well. I also started using Vulcan 7 over the last 6 or 7 months, and I really like that service because I like auto dialers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I've also used the Red X and Mojo together, so that's a different conversation. But I do love dialers because it just makes it easy for you to run through the numbers. And then if I can't find, let's just say there's a really juicy expired expired I want to get in touch with really bad that I cannot find the phone number through RedX, LandVoice, or Vulcan 7. I'll use Veromi, the white pages, or Spokio. Then, if I can't find them there, I'll go on social media and see if I can find them. And the least effective way to try and get in touch with them would be a letter or a postcard. Or if I have extra time in my day, I will door knock them. So it just really depends on, I really try to run through that. I don't let the good ones go.
And of course,
what's your success with door knocking? I bet you it's pretty good, isn't it? Just curious.
Yeah, I think it's really good because, like most of us, I know how to talk to people in person, and also people are very impressed when you show up at their house.
Right.
And I come prepared to have a listing appointment. So
got it.
Yeah. So I'm ready to go.
Let's look at the power of one, guys.
Mm-hmm.
One new expired contacted every workday. Now we know you might have to, mail and call 10 of them to get one to contact you. Actually, the number is going to be 3 to 4. But even if you had to go through the 10 that showed up to talk to one, if you contacted one every workday, 12 months a year, 20 months, 12 months a year, 20 days a month. That's going to be 240 contacts in a year. Being conservative, we saw a third of them relist with their current agents, but let's say half of them relist with their current agents, then 120 are left for you to go after. And let's say half of those are unable or unmotivated to sell due to they're just priced too high or the home's got a fatal flaw with it. That leaves 60 to actually work on. If 30 of them, because you're persistent and you're offering them hope, which Kate's going to talk about in a couple minutes, you earn the right to interview and take half, which is 15 listings, 10 of them sell. I'd like you all to write in the question box, if you sold 10 additional listings in the next 12 months, how much money would you make? Just write that down. Send it in to Scott.
Yeah, right.
So, Scott, what sort of numbers are you seeing?
Well, I know the one of the agents I talked to this morning, if 50,000, 70. I know she would do 72,000 because she makes around 6,000 a listing on average. She's a $200,000 average loan size. If you're Kate's area and you focus on the big dogs, holy smokes! What'd you say, 360?
Yeah. So 10,000 a check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 120,000 right there. That's kind of, man, it's life changing. Isn't it amazing when you pick up the phone? Let me just one more question here. Would the strategy work in Canada?
It's a different approach in Canada.
Is it okay?
It's a different approach.
Because you're not allowed to work expiry.
That is actually really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what agents do in Canada is they send a similar letter out to the whole neighborhood because you're not allowed to use the MLS to gain an unfair advantage, and you're not allowed to, work expirees as a whole. Your choice as an agent in Canada as to what you do with that, but in fairness, you might want to talk with your broker and some other agents before you bought this program if you are in Canada proper. Just, we don't want you to get something that you can't use.
Right.
Okay, so
I've had people use different approaches that work well in Canada.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kate will talk about those, and you're welcome to, but here's what we know is that most of you, if you make the first call, that's the hardest call to make every day, and that you'll end up doing more than one a day. You'll end up being like Kate, selling 40 to 50 rather than 10. Because once you made the first one, it's easy to keep going on because most of your monkey mind and the inner voice that stops you from doing it, once you've made the first call, oh, okay, that wasn't so bad. And then you'll do the second, the third, the fourth. So sort of the secret for real estate agents is to get you to make the first call every day. And as such, I'd rather have you work expireds every day, even though I know there's more at the end of the month, in the middle of the month. I'd rather have you work them every day because it gets you into the habit of doing it every day, and it activates the portion of your brain that we call the reticular activation center. Just like when you buy a new car, and then all of a sudden you notice lots of your cars out there, the same thing happens. When you go in and you get excited and you offer service to people and you prospect for 30 minutes or an hour or 15 minutes or whatever it is first thing in the morning, you're telling the universe and you're telling your brain, which is a very powerful instrument, that you're looking for business, and it will hunt for it without you even knowing it the whole rest of the day. So we want you doing this every single day. Kate, let's do a quick role play, and
Sure.
I'll be an expired and you be you, okay?
Okay.
And I've got the script here, and
Okay,
Kate,
good.
you know, has memorized it, so it may not, but just listen, guys. So the phone rings, and I say, hello?
Hi, my name is Kate. I'm looking for the owner of 123 Main Street. Are you the owner?
You found them.
Okay, fantastic. So I'm sure you're aware that your home is no longer on the market. It's what we call in the real estate biz an expired listing.
Yeah,
So-
you're the 8th agent this morning to tell me that.
Fantastic. 8 of us are working out of 15,000. Sounds good to me. So I was
Cool.
calling to ask you when you're going to interview another agent so you can get the home sold this time around. What are you going to be doing?
Well,
now?
you know, we're sort of depressed because we had the home on the market and we did what the agent told us and it
Yeah.
didn't sell. And we were going to move to Orlando, and now we can't do that, and the grandkids are missing out on seeing us.
So I hear what you're saying. You're just frustrated. You're a little depressed. It didn't turn out the way you wanted to, and you really want to move to Orlando. So
Yep.
I guess my question is if you could get a good price for your home and move to Orlando in the next 30 or 45 days, would that be attractive to you?
Yes.
Great. So what do you think stopped your home from selling?
Well, my agent said it was the market.
The agent. Okay, well, I hear that a lot. Did you guys have a lot of showings?
Well, it was listed for 6 months, and we had
Mhm.
3 showings, so it felt like a lot.
Ouch! Ouch! Some of my properties have 3 showings a day.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Oh, something must be going on there. So how did you happen to pick the last agent you listed the home with?
Well, they're the neighborhood experts. They say right there on their flyer they send out.
Okay, so they sent you a flyer is what I'm hearing. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So what did that agent do that you liked to try and get the home sold?
Oh, boy. You know, at the beginning we thought they were going to get the home sold, but I guess I don't have much that they liked.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's a frustrating experience. Well, what do you think an agent should do to get the home sold for you? What are you looking for?
I don't really care so long as it sells and I get a good price for it.
I understand that. You just want an agent to do their job and get the home sold. I hear that. I absolutely. Well, you know, I understand that. So let me ask you, what will you expect from the next agent you choose to sell the home with?
Well, I'm going to expect better communication. I'm going to expect them to do their job. I'm going to expect that they bring buyers to the house and that they get the home sold.
Okay, so if I called you once a week and sent you an email every few days with feedback, would that be enough communication with you?
Yeah, so long as if I ever had a question, I could call and get it back sooner than once a week.
Absolutely. I'm available during business hours, and I try to get back to people within an hour or so. Would that be okay with you?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Okay. And if we had events that brought buyers in and I followed up with buyer's agents and told you what was going on with the house, would that be good communication for you?
That would be.
Great. And if we did all of those things together, I can almost guarantee you that we would get the home sold and you would get a good market price. Does that
Do you
sound
really
attractive?
think you could get it sold?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. If you're willing, I'm willing, and if we can work together, we'll come up with something that'll get the home sold for you. So.
Okay, what do we got to do now?
Well, I would like to apply for the job. I have some availability this afternoon at 2:30, or is 4:30 better for you?
4:30.
Okay, great. Now, I see, I've only spoken to you, but I see there's another person popping up. Is it your wife that's on the title as well, or?
Yeah, and you better get her approval because she's the boss.
Okay, is she going to be available at 4:30 then?
Yes, I'll make sure she's here too.
Okay, great. So I just have a few other questions I want to ask you, and then I would pre-qual the expired before I came out.
Right. And all this is in the course, and the pre-qualifications are in the course. Did you notice that there was no way I could get Kate flustered or off track? And Kate, did I bring up anything that you haven't heard dozens of times before?
No.
No, I mean,
No.
And how many times are you shocked in a month by something of an expired tells you?
Not anymore.
Never.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more
Not
shocked
anymore.
by things my kids tell me than what expired.
No,
They really only have
expired
8 or
tells the
9.
same thing.
8 or 9 things, and in fact, we showed you is that one of the common things is they're going to say they're going to go for sale by owner now.
Oh, the rogue expired.
Yes, and so insult to injury and that sort of thing. So what we use is a statistic that comes out each year from the National Association of Realtors, and we use this to your advantage. And it showed in 2014 in the profile of home buyers and sellers that 70% of the homes that were listed with after talking to one agent and one agent only. Now that agent will expire in different marketplaces. Right now in Atlanta, the failure rate, meaning a home that expires, is hovering around 20%. I don't know what it is in Philadelphia or Orlando, but Atlanta's a pretty hot market, and 20% is a pretty low rate. But
That's about right for Philly.
Yeah, people don't want to interview 10, 11, 12 agents. So if you contact them and you use these scripts and you offer them hope and you sound confident like a good salesperson, you're going to earn the listing, because nature is people don't want to hear a whole lot of salespeople. Look at what you do, agents, on this call when you need to buy a new car. How many of you grumble about the car buying experience, and we're professional salespeople? Just think about it. And people think that same way about us. Here's
my question for Kate. Kate, what's the worst thing that has ever happened to you from a phone call?
The worst thing, somebody had
the worst
hung
thing
up
is that,
on me.
I mean, you almost died, right? You almost died from a phone call, right?
No, somebody cursed me out and hung up on me, but I called them back.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I said, I think you're having a really bad day.
Aw, good for you. And it probably worked out. You probably got the deal.
I did.
Yeah. You know, guys, I guess the reason I brought that up is nothing bad happens. The only challenge I think people face is right in their own head. Like it won't work for me. I called 3 people, it didn't work. How often do you call 3 people and it doesn't work? Often. But if you stop at 3 and number 4 was the one, or 5 was the one, or 6 was the one, or 50 was the one, it doesn't matter, right? Because you're only spending very little time to make that phone call and use the scripts that they've been talking about. I guess what I'm saying is just get over the fear of somebody saying no, because they will say no. But how I look at it is when they say no, you're one closer to a yes, you know?
I had a coaching client in Jacksonville Beach, Florida, this morning. He took 2 listings last month. One was an expired, one was a for sale by owner. Both he's been following up for 6 weeks, but the listings were for $695. It was listed at $750, and for $1.4 million, it was listed at $1.7 million. So $2.1 million worth of listings by following up. So the system, it works. You're going to learn where to find expireds and how to find them. You're going to learn which systems work, and more importantly, which systems don't work. Which ones don't work. You're going to get a system of 10 plus compelling letters and emails that get the expireds interested in talking with you. Now, that's only going to work on those expireds that are taking some time to think about it. We're not going to fib to you. We're going to recommend that you're on the phone calling and talking to the expireds every day so you know which ones are ready to take action now and you know which ones are going to need some follow-up. You're going to know what to say, how to say it, and when to say it after they do contact you. So you're going to have the advantage of Kate and myself coaching you as to what to say, how to say, and when to say it. You're going to get some items of value that will differentiate you from the other agents. Now, a lot of these things, you're going to have 10 to 15 items of value. So one might be a 25-point checklist on how to market your home on the internet. Well, you may or may not choose how to do that, but you may take the survey and use it if you don't use the other one. So there's going to be pieces that you use and pieces that you don't use. And you're going to get a PowerPoint listing presentation geared towards expireds that you can use when you meet an expired at your home or in your office that explains clearly why they need you. Okay, the letter, these are Kate's letters. Oops, sorry, where'd they go? There's a number of them. So, you know, Kate, this is her favorite expired letter. You want to go through it, Kate?
Yeah, so this letter really is based on some experience that I have about what expireds are interested in hearing and what they're going to take action on. So they really love the idea that there's already a buyer who's going to be interested in their property, and they want it to be stress-free, and they want to really feel like their house is, you know, very, very unique, that this is going to be held in the strictest confidence. Sometimes people don't, you know, they just don't want to have to deal with being back on the market. They like the idea that a buyer has been pre-qualified and that, you know, we're going to get back to them as soon as possible. And also, you know, I think it's really important to bring up that I don't want to intrude on their privacy. I know if there's, you know, any issues going on and they don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But, you know, a lot of people call me a month or two after they've expired on this letter. So it really does work really well. And I've sold properties, definitely, 100%. And I think everybody can use that letter. Another postcard in front.
You know, now there's so much. 10 years ago, finding postcards was a big chore. Well, now there's the core data and 25 other great services out there. But we'll give you some ideas of what you might want to use with a postcard. Kate, why would you use a postcard versus a letter?
Oh, just because they don't have to open it to look at it, and people glance at things very easily. And one of the things that I have been doing recently in the last couple of weeks, and I didn't tell Mike this, is that I've been asking expireds to write a little memento about why they chose to list with me over another agent, and I've been using those as my just listed.
Will you show us that during the course? A couple of those?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. I'm excited.
Yep.
And, you know, it takes, you know, Kate said 10 minutes a day. You know, as you're getting used to it and you're developing a system, plan on an hour a day, 2 hours a day if you're a really thorough analytical thinker. You're going to receive the exact system used by Kate and hundreds of agents across the country to get expireds to invite her over and get them listed and sold. And when you put this system to work, it's got to make you $600 an hour or more. And I can break it down, you know, 240 days, 2 expireds a month, 200,000. That's going to be 144,000 for 240 hours of work. That's $600 an hour. So, I mean, we all know we're worth that much money. This is a system that's proven time and time again. And for those of you thinking, Kate, wow, she sounds really good, I could never be that confident. When Kate first started, she had all those things that all of us do. We hummed, we hawed, we hung up accidentally, we said the wrong thing, and you were still successful and were taking listings even though you made all those mistakes new agents do, right, Kate?
Yeah, I still make a mistake every once in a while. I just back up and say, oh, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I said the wrong word. I can't talk today. Happens all the time.
Hey, Kate, I hate to say this, but I got that on recording that you made a mistake. So.
Don't send it to her husband. He doesn't need to hear that. Okay.
People have accused me of being a robot before, Scott, but I swear I am a human being.
She
I love it.
So we put everything in an easy-to-use package, guys. We've got 6 hours of video, an equal number of audio, and a lot more. And we ran this class, I don't know, 6-8 months ago, and it's all up on a website. And you got the video contact. It's broken down into actually 4 sections, but we decided it'd be more effective to teach it in 3 sections this time. And you're going to receive everything, all the scripts, the letters, the postcards, the objection handlers and dialogues that will get the expireds asking you to come see their home, and a lot of other tons of support material. The PowerPoint presentation, books on handling objections, all sorts of stuff, spreadsheets, calendar programs, a market analysis program that shows you're a little bit different. And if you ask, and if you email me, or you email Kate during the course, your personal questions will be answered. Module number 1, we talk more about the expired mindset and stats, and knowledge is power. We cover the mindset and how to use it to your advantage. And Kate does a lot on offering the expireds hope. Kate, you find the number 1 thing that expireds, they're discouraged and they don't have any hope. How do you offer them hope that you can get their home sold?
I think you just use the word hope, and you really just show them that there is another way to get a home sold than the one they've experienced already. And if you just really listen to their story and help them and give them good suggestions, people really do respond well to that. Just treat them like a person with a problem, and you can solve the question about why it didn't sell for them. That's really what people are looking for, hope and answers and motivation.
And we'll give you some more statistical data in addition to what we've already shown you, and we'll remind you with what we've shown you. Module number 2, we call it verbal judo, but in a kind way. We teach you how to say it and what to say when they say whatever expired say. And there's really only 8 to 10 things and variations on them that expireds can say. So you're going to learn how to use that and gently guide them to the right decision of working with you. Module number 3, we talk again about advancing the conversation and what to say when you're meeting with them face-to-face. And again, how to handle the things they tell you face-to-face so that you can win and cross the finish line with them. And what to do on the appointment. So here's what happens. It's on the website. It's brilliantly named, as I name all my things, FizboCourse.com and ExpiredCourse.com. When you sign up today, you're going to have instant access. It's a password-protected members area. You have it forever. Some of you bought the Fizbo program and you signed up and you lost your password. You know you have access to it. It's constantly updated. And in fact, we're going to tell you about what we're doing to update it for your class. And it's delivered in video, PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, audio, and PDF formats. So all you need to have is Adobe Acrobat, your typical computers, PowerPoint, video, and a recent version of Microsoft Office. I sold this course once before, and somebody said I couldn't get anything to open. They had Microsoft, Scott, you're going to love this, Office 98 they were still using. Now, that's almost, it's a little bit older than Kate is. And so
all right.
I did recommend that they had to upgrade, but if you have anything Office 08 or above, it works fine. As a special bonus, Kate and I are going to update the course, so we're going to be teaching the class live. Guys, we're going to, on Friday, this Friday from 3 to 5, and then Monday the 29th and Monday, July 6th, we're going to teach the class live from 3 to 5 p.m. And for those that just want to sign up, go to agentmastermind.com/expired course and plug in the discount code AMM. So agentmastermind.com, expired course, put in the code AMM, and what you're going to get is lifetime access. This is a one-time only charge, guys. There's no monthly fees. Now, during the course, we'll talk about these other programs, Vulcan 7, RedX, Land Voice, some of these other services. We have nothing to do with them, but you may choose to do those. This has no monthly fees. It's a one-time only payment, and we've been charging $194 for it, but Scott twisted my arm again, and when you enter the code AMM, it's going to be $147. Okay, so you go to agentmastermind.com /expired course. When you check out, there's going to be, apply a code, put in AMM, it'll be $147. So here's some bonuses. For those of you, I want to respect your time. You said, I've heard enough. I want to get involved. Go ahead, get involved. For those of you that need you might be on the fence, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get the keynote and PowerPoint expired presentation. You're going to get a unique market analysis spreadsheet. And this thing really works for price reductions and in listing the property, shows them that you're different. We have an expired listing analysis program. We have all the expired scripts, letters, postcards, and conversation advancers. That's what I call objection handlers. I don't even like the word objections. I like getting into conversations with people. We're going to have expired zingers. When they say the last agent really let me out high and dry, we're going to teach you how to say this with a sparkle in your eye. Ooh, you didn't deserve that. We're going to teach you how to say, I specialize in homes that didn't sell the first time around, with a smile on your face. We give you a dozen or so zingers. We're going to give you a customizable expired report. And that just is a report. It's a booklet on, why their home expired and how to not do it again. A 25-point internet marketing plan. Some of the clients love this, and they use it. You'll also get the YCM interest calculator, which shows them in a very simple Excel spreadsheet why they may not want to wait. If the interest rates go up from 4 1/8 to 4.625%, it decreases the affordability of their home about 10%. We'll show you how that works. And then you're going to get a prospecting magic tracking form. For those of you that like to use pencil and paper, it's a little box, and there's check boxes, and you can check off all the prospecting magic tracking form. For those of you that like that sense of accomplishment by putting pencil on paper, you're going to get a free private coaching call if you want one with either myself or one of the other Your Coaching Matter clients. Coaching calls, that's got a $150 value. And something that's brand new, we've been doing it for about 6 weeks now, is the coach is in. And every Tuesday from 11 to 12, either I or my wife Donna hosts what we're calling like the Dr. Laura radio call-in show. People come in under the webinar, and it's a loose ask whatever questions. Earlier this morning, I had 18 people on the call. We were able to cover 8 different questions during the hour and show them, some different thoughts and processes. It's like getting a whole coaching system, for free, because you can call in on Tuesday, and any questions you have that you didn't get answered during the course or for the few weeks after the course as you continue to implement it, you'll have access to me on Tuesdays from 11 to 12. Now, you'll be able to email Kate also, but I'm not going to commit her to being on the calls from 11 to 12. But, Kate, if you want to be, you're welcome to be. All that value, the bonus value, is well over $800. And the course, as we showed you earlier, is $147. Now, we do have a 100% money-back guarantee. I've got no problem standing behind this course and offering you 30 days. Sign up today. No risk whatsoever. You'll be able to take the course over the next 4 weeks. It's 3 classes over the next 4 weeks. And if you decide it wasn't everything we promised and more, just email, call, and fax, and we'll offer you a prompt and courteous refund. Now, I will admit, I'm always trying to make it better. And I may ask you, what didn't I do or should I do to make the course better? But usually the 1 or 2 people out of the 100 or so that are going to sign up that don't use it, they've never opened it. And I had one poor person in the last course, they had a heart attack and they got out of real estate. Well, of course, we'll refund it. Okay, so stand behind the system 100%. 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. You will be talking to me. You'll be talking to Kate on the course. And, we're going to sell this course after we record this version. We're going to sell it probably for the next 6 months to a year and not update it again for that period of time. So the big advantage to you signing up today, in addition to the price being $50 less, is you will also get the live course this Friday and then a week from Monday and the Monday after that. And there's nothing to send back. There's no postage and handling. There's nothing. You have nothing to lose. Sign up today at agentmastermind.com, expired course, and then enter the code AMM. If you have any questions and you're a little shy, we're going to get to questions right now. You can give me a call at 678-232-0927, or you can email me at mike.stott@mac.com, or you can email Kate at kate.vale1212@gmail.com. Okay, so
awesome.
Scott, what sort of questions did they have pop up?
All right, so we answered a couple of those. How does your listing presentation stand out above the competition? I don't know if that's an easy answer.
Kate?
Well, I think that's a very interesting question. One of the things that I would say is the reason why my listing presentation works is I talk about the price first. And if we can agree on the price, then I move on to the marketing. And I think agents have it backwards. They spend a lot of time talking about what they can do for the seller without even figuring out if the seller's willing to list for a price that would cause it to sell. And it also really frustrates the seller because the only thing they really care about, people, is what price they can sell for. So that is
great.
My
okay.
answer.
So go in with find out information before you start throwing up on them.
Yeah, exactly. Because here's the thing. A lot of the times, agents don't pre-qualify their leads. They just show up at the house and they have no information about what's going on, what the motivation of the seller is. And you really need to do all of that. If you do all of that work first, it's going to make the listing presentation easy.
Yeah.
You're going to know exactly how to say it, what to say it, when to say it, and what the seller is looking to do. It's just common sense.
It is. Okay, what about do not call list? There's a bunch of people ask about that. What do you do about that?
I don't do much about it.
Okay,
it's a personal decision. I have been calling since 2004, and I maybe every couple of months I run into somebody who says they're on the do not call list. I apologize profusely, and I move on.
Will we get your pre-qualified questions? Yeah, that totally answers. That's kind of my opinion. I mean, if they're looking to sell a house, I don't know, what do they expect? And if they do say it, just say, I'm really sorry, it didn't show up, whatever, it didn't show up. So
I'm really sorry, my assistant didn't find it. I'm going to fire her. I really apologize.
Correct. Right. There you go. Will we get your pre-qualified questions? I'm assuming that's all part of the show, and you can ask live too.
Yep.
Let's see.
Okay, I get a question in my emails. I just want to handle it. Guys, if you bought the Zero Resistance Fizbo course, the expired course is not included with that. They're two separate courses. You know, Kate gets paid. She's worth it all by herself. And this is a special discounted price at the $147. So, yeah, there's no additional discounts. Just go ahead and sign up for this. I promise you'll think it's worth it. So go do that.
Is it in Spanish? That's a great question.
No.
Okay, all right. If I'm already booked for Friday, cannot attend the live session, is it recorded? Can I watch it? Okay, cool. All right.
Always. And I actually, Scott, if I can interject, I recommend that everybody who buys the course listen to it over and over and over again.
Yeah, you know what? I've been to the same event literally 15 times that we personally do, and I'm part of it, and I learn something every single time. It's just listening to people and listening to how people say, and you pick up stuff at different times when you're ready to pick it up. You know what I mean? You hear something or whatever.
It's like reading a book. If you read the book, at one time you pick something else up, and if you read it again,
you just Well, you can watch. Why do we watch movies 7 times in a row? Top Gun. I've watched. How many times I watched Top Gun, right?
Right.
Oh man.
Exactly.
So did they say the calls will be recorded? Debbie, the call will be recorded. What's that?
Do you watch Magic Mike 10 times too?
Are you kidding me? I love that show. Michael Jordan's my man. Michael Jordan's my man. Yes, he is. Okay. Looks like we covered everything. Hey, guys, I really sincerely appreciate you guys bringing value to the Agent Mastermind platform. There's a couple people out here that say 149 is a steal for this stuff. If you're, all I can say is if you get the system, even if you don't get the system, don't be afraid to make the calls and screw up. It's okay. Like, learn from your mistakes, write down the objections that you get, figure out how to overcome them, and don't give up. They're not saying no, and like a lot of people I think take it personally that maybe this isn't the right career for me, or maybe this strategy isn't right for me. It's not that at all. It's just you didn't say something that the seller wanted to hear, or you got them at the wrong time, and that's where the follow-up letters come in. That's where staying top of mind with them, and you just don't know when they're going to pull the trigger again, or maybe they have friends, family, and coworkers, so if you build that relationship, you would get a referral from somebody that is looking to buy or sell. So it's just we're in a relationship business, and that's what Kate's so good at, is building relationships, and she doesn't care whether she gets the listing or not. Her goal is to go in and provide value and build the relationship, is what I got out of this whole thing. And that's what you need to do, and then use the stuff that they've already tried and trued and perfected to just get more appointments and get more listings and attract more buyers. It's just a kind of, it's really cool stuff. So thank you, Kate, for being here, and I appreciate you.
Of course. Can I add to that thought really quickly?
Absolutely.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
I just want to share with everybody on the call, learn from my mistakes, but don't pay the same price. So I have been literally using this technique that I'm sharing with you guys and perfecting it over 11, 12 years. And at first I was not so great at calling expireds, but I kept at it. So if there's any part of you that is interested in making more money and making it easier and more persistent and consistent in your business, so that okay, each month I can count on making this much money, this is the answer for you in your business. Yeah. And
it's kind of a no-brainer.
Just use my experience. Don't put yourself through the same trial and error. I struggled a lot. I had a lot of things that didn't work. I'm going to tell you what does. So don't say no to this. This is going to be the best money that you've spent, because I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be forthright. I'm going to tell you exactly what works. I'm going to help you, and it's going to be a lot easier than you would ever expected.
And you have the unique opportunity of the course is going to be live, and then you have the Tuesday morning, the coaches in sessions to ask any questions. I can't, it's really the best of both worlds. You get to try it, put it into practice. If you stub your toe somewhere along the line, get on the next call or get on a Tuesday call, ask questions, and you'll have all sorts of support. One thing I didn't mention is you also get access to a private members-only Facebook page where we have over 1,000 members on it. If I show it here, let me get to if Facebook will pop up. And again, I didn't want to do this because I'm hooked to my phone, but the Zero Resistance Fizbos and expires, we have 1,036 members, and if you ask a question, so here's John Roberts had a question, and he had 11 more comments on how to answer it. Chuck Robertson had a question, and he had 15 people on how to answer it. So you get not only just me, who's nowhere near as good as Kate with expires, and not only just Kate, you get the active members in this Facebook group. It's a private members-only group that will let you join when you get into course, and you get to hear everybody. And then, by the way, of course, the coach is in. We remind you each week. We send you an email. You can get in and call and be on the calls. And I'm not the sort of trainer that says, hey, I've done everything I want to do when I get your money. No, I've done everything I do when you've made your money back 10 times over and feel great about it. And so I will support there. I don't know any other trainer that's out there doing this. So
good
sign
stuff,
up,
man. Good stuff.
Have the confidence. It's been an hour. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for coming back. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it, and honored to be a part of your life, and honored for you guys to be a part of mine. It's always nice hearing refreshing success stories and having people on the call that are actually successful with different strategies. So I appreciate taking time out of your day. Everybody, thanks so much for being here. We'll see you same time, same place next Tuesday at 12. And everybody be safe. Enjoy this spring weather that we're having. And we'll see you on the web. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Scott. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.